Will City Car Driving 2 support VR? Will it support mods? Will it have a multiplayer mode? Find out all this and more as we learn about the development progress of City Car Driving 2. City Car Driving 2 was announced in May 2023, and we know it's coming into early access in Q1 of 2024. There's going to be a brand new engine, brand new mechanics, and it's not just an update to City Car Driving 1, it's a totally new game. All the info and images in this video are taken from the developers' blogs, which are available on the game's Steam page. And as far as I'm aware, there's been no other English-speaking videos talking about the development progress of City Car Driving 2. So, let's get started. Just like its predecessor, City Car Driving 2 will be an open-world, realistic car driving simulator. The game is geared more towards novice drivers who want to master basic car driving skills. There's going to be several game modes, including training scenarios, free drive, and jobs. We'll talk more about that career mode a bit later. The autodrome exercises return like in City Car Driving 1. These are basically areas and scenarios where you can train your driving skills. You'll have to pass these exercises sequentially and you'll be scored on your performance. There's tests such as hill driving, cone slaloms, U-turns, rear parking, and parallel parking. And there are even inflatable car mock-ups which you can crash into, and they simulate other road users. There are brand new features to City Car Driving 2, including a dedicated occupation system. This is a career mode where you can take on several different jobs. You can concentrate on a specific job or do them all at once, if you like. Jobs such as taxi driver and goods delivery driver will be available. There's also an improved car fueling system, and there's different types of fuel available depending on the vehicle you choose. Vehicles can become dirty dynamically. Car washes do exist in the game world, and you'll have to go and wash your car. Car damage now matters. It's no longer just cosmetic. When you crash or when your car needs servicing, you'll have to repair your car at a repair shop. Now, I'm not sure if these features require money that you've earned from the career mode, but it's still interesting features that add a whole new level of realism. The game will have a garage where you can park your vehicles. There's a bed in the garage which allows you to sleep and change the game world's time. And the physics have been overhauled. The driving physics are obviously going to be quite a bit better, but also there's going to be more collidable objects in the game world. There's a GIF here, you can crash into these boxes, you can move them around in a pretty realistic way. I mean, it's not BeamNG, but it is cool to see collidable objects in the game world. Throughout this video, I'll be answering some frequently asked questions about City Car Driving 2. So, first up, will there be multiplayer? Well, no. Unfortunately, the developers have stated they're not able to implement multiplayer on release, and even after release, it'll be a very long time before they even consider it. Can you get out of the car? No. Despite them showing this in the first game trailer, where there's a guy sat at a cafe and then he gets into the car, it's not going to be coming into City Car Driving 2. That also means that systems like player fatigue and hunger will not be modelled in the game. And does City Car Driving 2 support steering wheels? Yes, it does. And I'm sure that there'll be lots of support no matter if you have a Logitech, Thrustmaster, Fanatec, Moser, any of these wheels will be supported. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest City Car Driving 2 news and discover new simulator games as well as the best BeamNG drive mods, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's talk about the graphics. So, City Car Driving 2 is using Unreal Engine 5. That enables far greater graphical fidelity than City Car Driving 1, and that game was released way back in 2007. The game makes use of PBR materials, and a similar system is used in BeamNG. It basically enables far better looking reflections on objects. Now, I'm not sure if the game uses ray tracing for the reflections and shadows, but it still looks great, at least from the screenshots I've seen. The game will have a dynamic day and night cycle. This is a highly requested feature. You may remember in the last game you just set the time and it stayed like that, static, but I'm not sure if there'll be dynamic weather, and the map will be perpetually summer. Additionally, the sound system is totally new. None of the sounds from City Car Driving 1 will return in 2, which is great. I really do think the sound system in City Car Driving 1 is a bit dated now, so good news on that front. What about the cars in City Car Driving 2? Well, none of the cars from City Car Driving 1 will be carried over. They'll be all new vehicles. The game will include several passenger cars and vans, but motorbikes will not be coming in early access. Large vehicles like trucks and buses will not be available in early access. The largest vehicle will be a van, similar in size to a Ford Transit. Vehicles will not be licensed or branded, but I've noticed these vehicles in screenshots that are based on real-world models. A Hyundai Elantra, prominently featured on the game's branding, a Hyundai Tucson SUV, a Volkswagen Golf, a Mercedes E-Class and a Mercedes Vito van, a Ford Ranger pickup truck, and a Fiat Ducato van. The game will have no attachable trailers in early access, but once it's released, the developers plan on bringing them. You might be able to drift the cars in-game, but the devs say the project is primarily educational, and they don't think extreme driving should be performed in the game. I'm not really sure why they'd say that. I think they're so obsessed with this being a pure simulator, they're going to take a bit of the fun out of the experience. It's understandable, I guess, from their perspective. Will the game support track IR or eye tracking? No, and support isn't even being considered, which is strange to me considering how many people use it. Will there be VR support? No. There will be no support in the early access version. I mean, what are they thinking? This is one of the big draws to this game is VR support. You look at the amount of videos, popular videos on YouTube where VR is being used. It's crazy that they wouldn't add this, and I think it'll be seriously damaging to the early access phase if they don't add it. Let's talk about the map. So it's set in a seaside resort town where it's always summer. It's in a generic southern European setting, slightly Mediterranean, and it's definitely a departure from City Car Driving 1's somewhat clinical and bland Russian map. There's colourful buildings with classic architecture, narrow streets lined with trees and bollards, and there's graffiti and overgrown trees to liven up the map. If I were to guess, I'd say the game is set somewhere in Italy, and I think it was probably wise for the developers to move the game out of a Russian setting, but it's going to feel very different to the first game as a result. Let me know what you think about the move to a southern European map. Of course, there's going to be dynamic road conditions, different quality of road surfaces, different road types like dense city streets, highways, twisty roads, suburban intersections, and one-way roads. The city has several different zones. Some are densely packed with skyscrapers, while others have mountains and rivers. And while the map will feature bus stops and tram tracks, there won't be buses or trams in the traffic. Will you be able to adjust traffic, pedestrian density, and weather like in CCD1? No. The devs are looking into alternative ways to model these features. Will the game be moddable? Yes. Players can create and add their own cars. However, a map editor will not be included in the early access version, which means modded maps will not be possible. The game will have Steam Workshop support, which means modding will be very, very easy. What will happen to City Car Driving 1? Well, the game will not be replaced, it'll be preserved as it is now. It may even receive some small updates in the future, despite the company's main focus on City Car Driving 2 development. So then overall, it's slightly disappointing considering their lack of interest in supporting things like track IR and virtual reality, which I think are just so important for a game like this. And for them to state that the features will be missing in that early access version, I mean, it's kind of honest, but I seriously think it'll impact the hype surrounding this game. Overall, it's very interesting. You know, the map does look quite good. The graphics are definitely of 2023 quality, at least 2023 sim game quality, and it's great it'll be highly moddable, except of course for the lack of map modding support. I've left links to the dev blogs below, you can go and check them out, and let me know what you think about City Car Driving 2. Are you looking forward to it more or less after this video? Why not click the video on screen now to check out this game's new competitor, City Driver. It's definitely interesting, let's just say that. Thanks for watching, make sure you subbed and hit the bell so you don't miss any City Car Driving news, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures.